Hi everyone and welcome to Darksiders 2 Deathinitive Edition Deathinitive Difficulty Walkthrough. I'm never gonna get that right. This is part 5, The Tears of the Mountains, part 1. Now I'm going to be highly editing some puzzle parts that are really easy puzzles. I'm gonna prefer to leave the combat scenarios and exploration. And that's gonna be further edited down, and when we have like episodes that are really long, like this one here, that we have we potentially have like a 40 minutes episode if I had it split it in two. So that's why I'm going to begin doing. If an episode is too long, so I don't actually bore you to death, I'm going to be splitting it, and I'm going to show mostly all of the main quest though, but I do a lot of exploration and side stuff that you might not be cared to see, and from time to time I'm going to be showing my character and inventory as we progress further into the mid parts of the game. Because when we end with this quest, we are going to be fighting... No, excuse me, we are going to be doing another quest after this. And then when we end that quest, we're going to be fighting the Guardian. And after that, we're going to be visiting the Tree of Life for the first time. And then we're going to get access to the Crucible. Now, I wanted to talk... first, a correction. Taysin, a subscriber, corrected me on something that I said on the previous video, I think, part 4. I said that this game had a trophy where you can just, when you had to grab the horse and just kinda go in a merry-go-around, and like it was, like you had to, I don't remember specifically what the trophy was, but you had to ride the horse like for 100 miles, 100 virtual miles, something like that. And I was mistaken because that trophy was in Darksiders 1, it's not in here. I actually read all the trophies in this Definitive Edition, and they're mostly the same trophies that are in the previous edition, the normal edition of the game. And but I want to talk a little about the Crucible because that's probably one of the most the harder parts that we're going to have to go through, and that's going to come late in the game, because I've seen in GameFAQs and in other forums that a lot of people are getting a lot of things wrong, because this game has not been explained at all. Like the Relic Entertainment, even though they launched this edition, which runs at 1080 and 60 FPS. I think I said that in the very first part, and if I didn't, sorry, because I got asked that by another of my subscribers, and I don't remember if I said it, but it is 1080, it is 60 FPS. So yeah, one of the things that everybody was talking about is that this difficulty, which is harder than Apocalyptic, kill you and erase your save. That is not true, guys. That was called hardcore difficulty, and it only unlocked when you finish any difficulty or Apocalyptic. I don't really remember that, but it was called hardcore, and I never did it. I never did it because it sounds horrible. This is an action RPG. This is like, I don't know, 20 hours if you stick to the main quests. And even though you might want to play hardcore, yeah, it has to be. I was going to say I'm not sure if you can play hardcore in the New Game Plus feature, and I haven't explained that this game has a New Game Plus feature. Now, the New Game Plus actually doesn't do what I hoped the developers were going to do with this game. The New Game Plus unlocks when you finish the game, and you carry over everything that you have got through the story. The new M Plus is there so you can actually get some achievements that you might have missed, but it's not there to actually present you with a harder enemies or harder difficulties. It's going to unlock hardcore, and you might consider hardcore to be a harder difficulty because if you die it's over. But I just consider that to be annoying and not really actually hard. When I knew this version was going to come out, I thought, I fucking wish that the developers realized that this game is kind of addicting because of the random loot and the way that you upgrade your character. And I wished that this was also asked, or it was actually stated by another of my subscribers, Kokiri Elf, that no, it was a question that if the game raised the cap. The previous cap was level 30, and it's going to stay at 30, guys, because it's again it's not raised. And one of the things I kinda wanted the developers to do with this game, as I'm stumbling around this fucking place without knowing where to go, but I'm gonna get it. Sorry, but yeah, I wanted the developers. I wished. Let's say that I wished the developers would realize that this game is addicting, that this game is fun, and they will present us with the new M Plus edition as before, but they will level up the monsters. So if we play again, the monsters will start at level 30 and go upwards, and maybe the developers would augment the level cap to 50. Or something like that, maybe 60. But no, they did nothing of that sort. This is the door that you have to do, by the way. You have to go. They actually didn't do anything of that. They actually just ported the game almost like it was. They raised 1080p and 60 FPS, which is better than some other editions, like Dishonored the Definitive Edition, that is not 60 FPS. I'm not gonna rant about it because I rant about that in some other video that I just don't remember anymore. But come on guys, like, how can you port a game to the PS4 and maintain 30 fucking FPS with the graphics of Dishonored? I've been playing Dishonored at 60, like the game is fucking released on my PC. Jesus fucking Christ! And I would have bought it. Maybe I would have bought it if it would have been 60, but I just got pissed so fucking much. So what a bunch of motherfuckers! I'm sorry, but they are. It's like the lowest, the laziest, lowest effort ever in that edition. So, and here is a lot better actually, because as I mentioned before, they included dynamic lighting. That is actually, it looks pretty good actually. The game looks pretty good, and it is incredibly fun to play. So I can't complain a lot because I love the game, but they changed a couple of things beyond resolutions and FPS, which should be mandatory for all games. 60 FPS, I mean. And what the fuck? What I was saying before? Yeah, I wish that they would have raised the level cap, or at least they would have given us a higher enemy difficulty at New A Plus, because what's the fucking point, right? You can get all the trophies if you are a trophy person. You can get all the trophies in a single playthrough. It's not really that hard. It's just maybe grinding. It's a little grindy for some of the platinums, but it's not really that hard. It's not really that. It's not Darksiders 1 type of bullshit. And by the way, if you're going to ever ask if I'm going to cover Darksiders 1, I will be sorry to say that I don't think so, because I don't own Darksiders 1 on my Steam. I owned it on my PS3 and I sold my PS3, so I have it in my account, but since the PS4 don't have backwards compatibility, I can play it. I can record it, and I wish I had it on my Steam account. If I had it on my Steam account, I will cover it eventually after this one, because I would love to play it again, but since I don't think I will, and I don't see myself buying it, guys. I just don't. It's a game. It's a really good game. I love it, but I don't know. It's just one of those things that doesn't look like it's going to happen, you know. Maybe if in the future, or Black Friday that is coming, like I see it at $1 fucking dollar or $2 or $3, something like that, I might buy it. But I don't think I'm going to. I don't think I'm going to do it either way. So sorry if you were going to ask that. So that monster that you see there is like the mini boss. It's like the mini boss of this first part, and it's the game kind of teaching you how to fight the last boss that this entire quest has. Even though we are not going to hit him directly, we are going to use like a gimmick to defeat him. That creature is kind of like a little version of the last boss. So it's cool that the game kind of shows us that we can dodge him, because that's exactly what we're going to be doing in the last boss. Yeah, I think I answered all the questions. I'm going to talk about. As I said at the beginning of the video, that I was going to talk more about the Crucible, because, and I was going to answer a lot of questions that many people, I'm sure they had, or they kind of think, because they haven't bought the game. And we are almost at the end of the video, guys, so I'm going to wait till part 2 to talk about the Crucible, which is something that really interests me. I know I talked about it, I described it, but I'm going to go further into the mechanics of the Crucible, and I'm going to answer some common questions about the difference of the Deathinitive edition with the normal edition, with the previous edition. I don't know how it was called, the game of the year, you know, the complete edition. I don't know how it was called, because when I bought it, I bought the vanilla with the first DLC only. But here we go, we're just gonna ride the waters back to the first part, and then we have to do this exact same thing, open up the waters on the other side, and we're going to fight a boss in the next video. So thanks a lot for watching, and take care.